And who's got the phone going? All right, and we are streaming as well. And back to our Zoom event.
Cynthia.
Are you calling me?
Yeah.
I don't see my phone ringing. Corrie, you look like a movie star.
Thank you, baby.
All right, so our attendees can see and hear us. Forget music, we'll play music in our heads. Welcome, everybody. We just got about a minute to start, but want to say thank you to everybody for joining us today to our first ever Boss Ladies seminar. So hoping to just share, some good information and some advice and some stories and just have fun.
Yes.
All right, and thank you again, everybody, for being here. I don't know why people insist on calling me during events, but I am going to put my phone away. I cannot see it. All right. Welcome, Corrie, Thandie, Heather, and our wonderful host for the day, co-host, Mr. Vincent Thomas. The only gentleman allowed on the meeting.
Yes. Okay, I'm unmuted.
All right. I figured you can keep the rest of us in check. All right, so for those of you who are streaming, this is also being streamed live on YouTube. Can't control the YouTube settings, but we're here for those who registered. If anybody's having difficulty getting on when you registered, you should have gotten a link. All right, you should have gotten a link to click on in order to join the meeting. That link is only good for one person. You can share it with one guest, but that link is what's going to allow you to get on. Okay, are you guys still hearing me okay?
Yes.
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 Wonderful. All right, well, happy Sunday, everybody.
Woohoo!
Thank
Yes.
you.
I'll try my best to keep an eye on the YouTube channel as well, but this is going to take a little. All right. Well, we're streaming. It says excellent condition. All right. So, Mr. Thomas.
Yes. Yes.
Now
yes.
101. Would you like to get the introductions going?
Yes, I will absolutely like to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to our first Boss Lady seminar. My name is Vincent Thomas, and I am your host for this afternoon. Oh, excuse me. Do me a favor. Can you
Vincent,
mute out
don't
your
make me
phone?
climb over there.
Don't mute out your phone. Make sure your phones are on mute. So that way you don't get people calling you while you're doing a seminar. I had the privilege and was asked to co-host, and I'm honored to co-host this. We have a jam-packed call for you tonight. Seminar. We have none other than the CEO of Novatech, Reverend Cynthia Pettyon, along with three fabulous ladies, which I will be introducing in a few minutes. So, would you like to say anything, Madam CEO?
Yeah, no, just real quickly, I know it's Sunday and we appreciate everybody taking some time out of their busy schedules to be here with us. Hopefully we'll be able to share some good content and information with everybody, but mostly I just want us to kick back, have some fun. I did want to recognize the ladies that are here with us today. Ms. Thandie Dube from South Africa, Ms. Corrie Sampson from the US, and Golden Girl, Mrs. Heather Belanger from Canada. And we just got together about, several weeks ago and thought it would be a good idea to just get together, kind of like a morning brunch, tea time thing, and just talk about, our experiences as leaders, and hopefully be able to, share some good content and inspiration with each other. But I do want to recognize these ladies because we share the same business and community. And I'm really, really astounded by the work that they do and the rapport that they have with their downlines and everything else. So thought this would be a good time to get together and do this. I am going to post the YouTube link over here real quick for those of you who don't have it so that you can share it with others. Give me 1 second to do that. And then we can go get ahead and, get started on our topics for the day. What we plan to talk about today is going to be a little bit of time management, people management, how we get along and what it is that we do, and hopefully be able to encourage other ladies to do the same. And for the gentlemen here who are joining us today, we were going to keep you out, but you guys have boss ladies in your lives as well, and thought it would be great to have you on board, because honestly, we all, exactly, Vincent as well, but we all, share a common ground. So God bless everybody here today. Let's hope, the words come out the way we intend them to. And let's go ahead.
All right. Let's get started. Our first panelist is Heather Belanger, a wife, mother, grandmother, Proverbs 31 woman, registered nurse, and a legal nurse consultant. She has a lot of accolades, folks. Lifelong learner, a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Master of Education, Master of Business Administration, nurse practitioner, legal nurse consultant, graduating with Mega Cum Laude honors. Wow, look at this. Crypto addicted, a Reiki master. We got to ask her what that one's about. A lady boss and a co-founder of Novatech Golden Team. So Heather, you wear a lot of hats around here, and I see that you do. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, and how do you effectively give time management to your business and your family life? You're muted, Heather.
Absolutely, Vincent. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first Boss Ladies webinar. And we're so blessed and happy that you're here with us today. And we hope to enlighten you and give you a little bit of excitement and learn some information here today. So what I'm going to do is for my little segment, I'm going to do a little screen share here. Just give me 1 second. All righty. So I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about time management and the different hats that I wear and how I time manage all of those hats, okay? And please, panelists, if you feel like you want to share a comment or a question, just jump right in. So what is time management, right? Time management is the art of managing time effectively so that the right time is allocated to the right activity. Right? Because if you don't manage your time, you're just going to have, loose ends all over the place. You're never going to get focused. You're going to be disoriented, and it's just not going to be effective. So I was asked to talk about what hats do I wear. So I started to think out loud to myself, okay, so what hats do I wear? And so when I started to write it out, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I wear 8 hats. So I'm a mom, and moms have all the usual mom duties, right? But I have a couple of things that I deal with as a mom. I have a 9-year-old son, Bradley. He's the joy of my life. I had him at age 44, so that was a little bit challenging from the start as an older mom. But he suffers with an autoimmune disorder where he has very high fevers that are life-threatening. And we go to Sick Kids Hospital every 3 months for that, along with the cardiac condition. So those 2 things always make it a little bit challenging for me. Also, as a mom for him, he does acting, and he has a good acting career. So casting directors, they just literally send you a message, hey, your son's auditioning tomorrow. And you're like, oh my gosh, like that's just totally wrecking my schedule. How am I going to fit that into my time? Then I'm also a grandmother to a little 1-year-old, and I'm a wife. So all the wifely things that I usually have to do. On top of that, unfortunately, this past November, my husband had a vaccine injury with Pfizer, what's called an anaphylactic reaction. So it's a near-death experience. 911, 3 weeks later, was having an open heart surgery, all because of that. So he's now recovering from, that and going into cardiac rehab. So I have to take him to all of his appointments. He now has lifelong warfarin, blood thinners that he has to take. So we have to go to the lab every week. So all of that has really thrown a lot of, changes to our time in our lifestyles. Again, as Vincent said, I'm a registered nurse, and I specialize in personal injury and malpractice cases, and I sit on the board of directors of the Legal Nurses Consulting Association of Canada. So I have to do all the treasury business for that particular organization. And through that organization, we've been seeing a lot of cases surrounding vaccine injuries. And that's basically what led my husband and I to Novatech, because we were both out of jobs at the time now. And so Novatech has come into our life and has basically replaced all of our income sources. So that was pretty freaking awesome. Again, let's see what else. So my family owns an air conditioning and engineering firm since the 1970s. So we have a good reputation in our town. And I'm the Vice President of Administration, Business Development, and I'm also the Secretary Treasurer there. I'm the Secretary Treasurer for my family's Holdco business. My husband has a band, a classic rock band. He plays every weekend. It's been a little bit slowed down because of the pandemic, but they're starting to get going again. And with that, I do all of the bookings. So all the agents call me, I do all the bookings, I do all the contracts, all the weddings that they have. I'm the wedding coordinator. So we've got one coming up in May that I'm helping the bride to do all the planning for the reception and all the music for the ceremony. That's another hat I wear. And last but not least, and most important to us here today, is my Novatech business. I am the co-founder of the Golden Team. We have an amazing group of leaders and partners on our team. I'm a junior director. I've been with Novatech now for a year and a half, and I'm nearly a director, 98.34% as of today. We have over 4,000 partners in our team and over 27 million. I know it says 26, but over 27 million in volume. And they call me Golden Girl, Golden Hair, Golden Team. Maybe that's where it came from, not sure, but those are all the hats I wear. So how does Golden Girl manage the time to do all of these functions? I'm going to give you a really short, less than 5-minute overview on what you can do, okay? So triage. Triage is a nursing term. When you go to emerge, what did the nurses do there? They look at your injury, they ask you what's going on in your life and how did it happen? I use those same principles for my life and managing all these hats. I look at the triage of my day. So what you have to do is have a to-do list, be prepared. Some people like to have a calendar on their fridge. Some people have a pocket calendar. Some people use their cell phones and, have little information on there that alerts them for what they have to do. And you need to plan. You definitely need to be organized. Some people like to draw an action plan. You need to prioritize, just like the triage. What's most important in my day that I need to get done? You can sometimes categorize it into what's urgent, what's an emergency, what's important, but it doesn't need to be done right this second, okay? And prioritize and take control. So you need to schedule your life and schedule your time. And don't be afraid to delegate. If you have to delegate certain things to certain people, then just do it. Set your goals and include prayer time. Prayer time is a big thing for me. I like to start my day by praying to the creator of all, right? Thank you, Lord, for all these blessings. And if you take that extra little 10 minutes in the morning to pray, God's going to help you stay organized. And it just gives me that extra little time to, be in a good mood to take my son to school at 7:30, right? I don't have get your stuff, hurry up, get in the car, get your breakfast, grab your drink, right? That extra little minute to time manage yourself really makes a difference. And you're starting your child's life in a good, positive feeling. They go to school feeling excited. Also, make sure you have a healthy lifestyle. This one, I need to work on these ones big time. Look at my bags, right? Exercise, eating healthy, getting enough sleep. That's one thing I need to for sure work on. I have members of my team from Australia, and when they see me on Telegram updating the Golden Team, they're sending me little gifts and little pictures. Heather, it's time, get off the internet. It's time for bed. So they always try to keep me on track, which is pretty cute. Take your vitamins, take your supplements. And as a boss lady, you need to have me time, right? Look after what is good for you. Go to the spa, take a day trip, go for a walk with the dog, get your hair done, get your nails done. All those things you need to still coordinate in your time. And what is the bottom line with time management, right? Time is money, right? So that's the main thing. And if you organize your time and you're effective in what you're doing, you're going to save time, you're going to decrease your stress, you're going to function effectively, increase your work output, have control over everything you've got to do. That's going to increase your confidence and your self-esteem. And you be your judge, okay? You be your judge and your own motivator. And don't put too much stress on yourself. If you have to rearrange things or change your schedule or take a time out, sometimes we just have to take a time out and just breathe and say, oh my gosh, look at all these hats I have. I need a me day. You know what? I'm taking a me day and I'm just going to decompress. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Walt Disney said it the best. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. A lot of us, that's what we do. You procrastinate, right? You just keep talking about, I'm going to get my Novatech business. I'm going to make my list. And you keep talking about your list and all you're going to do and all these great things, but you don't get started in doing it. So this little slide here, I'm not going to go into a lot of details just for the sake of time. But what you need to do is just think about your life in 4 quadrants, okay? What's urgent, what's not urgent, what's important, and what's not important. That could be either urgent or non-urgent, okay? And we'll be able to share this slide in our teams if you want. And next. So our beautiful Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today, let us begin. So start your path for better time management today. Thank you all. We're all boss ladies and boss gentlemen here. And I ask every God to bless you all. Thank you.
Wow, that was awesome. Awesome, Heather. Awesome. And you had me when you were referring to the Lord, giving the Lord the blessing. Anytime I even text, if everybody knows me, I give the blessings to the Lord first. And when you do that, everything else just falls into place right away.
Got it.
And with that, you right? You said something?
I'm agreeing with you. That's the number one important, is having God in your life and being throughout your day.
Yes, and then the time.
No, that was excellent. So and you touched on something too about pampering yourself and doing things for yourself, and I think that's extremely important too. You know, because especially working from home, sometimes you get up and you're in your pajamas and your hair's not done or your makeup's not done and you're sitting down to work. You almost feel a little more sluggish, although you're doing all the same things. You know, put on a little makeup and get all jazzed up at home. Sometimes I feel like a boss lady sitting at home. So
exactly, you know, Cynthia, even if you're just a boss lady from the waist up, you know, you can wear your track pants, your pajama bottoms, just make the upper half of your Zooms look good. You're good to go.
That's it. That's it right there. Thank you, Heather.
Yes. Well, we have I believe she's the youngest of the group. She goes by Thandie Dube from South Africa. Way to go. She's an entrepreneur, a teacher, a motivational, inspirational speaker, a mentor, God-fearing, single, independent mom of teens. So, and I have, like, with that being said, Thandie, how is the negative mindset affecting the young entrepreneurs, especially in the continent of Africa?
Thank you so much for the introduction, Vincent, and thank you for that question. This is really, really very important. It does affect a lot of young entrepreneurs in more ways than one, in a number of ways. It affects their creativity. You know, if you don't have a clear perspective, your creative capabilities are limited. It also affects their thinking capabilities as well. You cannot outperform beyond your thoughts. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You know, it also affects their experience and their exposure as well. If your experience, it can affect what you can do and what you cannot do. That's true. You are only as smart as what you are exposed to. What you cannot imagine, you cannot achieve. It also affects their self-esteem and their self-concept as well. You know, when your self-concept is affected, is distorted, also your self-confidence is affected as well. So that limits you. Overall, that affects the quality of life. It affects the results that you get at the end of the day. So for me, I believe this negative mindset is mostly fueled by the conditioning of the mind. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different cultures, different religions, different beliefs. All that forms part of our conditioning. Bad conditioning mostly is as a result of the environment where you grew up, your past circumstances, your personal or spiritual beliefs, our background, just to mention a few. All these factors are a big part of our subconscious mind. This is basically what you've been feeding your mind with, what your mind has been feeding on from childhood, which becomes a big part of your programming. Mindset or conditioning of the mind affects not just the young entrepreneurs, but it also affects the old ones as well. Once your self-concept is distorted, this affects your whole confidence, which in turn determines the kind of attitude that you have towards life, that you have towards business, that it affects your morals, your values, your integrity, which in turn reflects on your behaviors. This is what you do and how you do things overall affects your whole achievement, your performance, you know. So your self-concept for me is very, very vital because it creates your belief and it is responsible for your limitations and the possibilities that you can get to. Your mindset determines your perceived opportunities, your perceived limitations and possibilities. It mostly comes from your subconscious mind, which a lot of people are not really aware of, which makes up to 95% of our attitude and behavior. Your mindset is simply how you see yourself. It's simply how you reflect your attitude, which reflects on your behavior. Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You know, the happiness of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, morally, spiritually, depends on the quality of your thoughts. How you see yourself from inside out is what determines how you will push through life. The strength of your body normally is based on what you eat, the exercises that you do. For me, it is just an awareness to know which types of food you need to eat or what exercises that you need to do. Similarly, your brain also needs to be taken care of. Your mind needs to be taken care of. The type of thoughts you conceive in your mind can either limit you or drive you to opportunities. So our characters at the end of the day are the sum of all of our thoughts. So bad or good mindset is based on what you feed in your mind, basically, or what you have been feeding your mind. Who have you been listening to? Who have you been learning from? All this is important part in your reconditioning of your mind, reprogramming of your mind. What are some of the behaviors that we see from bad conditioning? We see people living in denial, always trying to justify situations instead of taking responsibility. We see people blaming others, making excuses all the time, and the ultimate of them all, quitting, giving up all the time. Bad thoughts create limitations. Mostly it is based on the past experiences that we've had or the past mistakes that we've probably made, which ends up creating fear, especially in the young minds. What you hear, depending on the level of your enlightenment, depending on your wisdom, or shall I say the level of your experience, can either build you or destroy you. As an entrepreneur, your job is to generate new or better business ideas. But with a negative mindset, it is hard to be creative. Here in Africa, we see a lot of youngsters leaving Africa for Western world. Why? Because of conditioning. Excuse me. The thoughts that I am in Africa, I can do this, I cannot do this, I am limited. You know, the conditioning creates a lot of limitations around us, thinking that I am not good enough. You know, I can achieve this and I cannot achieve that. But at the end of the day, them going to the Western world, it's the belief that it is better than Africa, which I totally disagree. As a matter of fact, there are more opportunities in Africa more than any other continent. Why am I saying that? If you want to make a fortune, you need to help solve problems. So if you need to solve problem, where then is the ideal place to make a fortune? It is where there are a lot of problems. It is where there are a lot of issues. There are a lot of challenges here in Africa that needs to be solved. We also have a lot of resources that still needs to be tapped into, which is why I call Africa is a land of opportunities, depending on the conditioning of your mind and how you see it. We have extremely strong, mentally strong people who are prohibited by environment and circumstances. The belief systems that we have around us that are creating limitations, causing young entrepreneurs to sabotage themselves. If you do not deal with your past, you do not deal with your background, you do not deal with your conditioning, and you're not aware of what impact it has on you, even if you have great ideas, you will end up sabotaging yourself. Most young entrepreneurs do not go beyond a period of 6 months to a year in business. Why? Because of the wrong mindset, bad conditioning. We see school also plays a role. School teaches us to copy and paste. Yet God created us to be creative. You know,
Yes.
God says, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. Yet you die like mere men. Why? Because of not understanding our true identities and our capabilities. Young entrepreneurs are scared to fail. They are fearful. A lot of them have a lot of ideas, but they are scared to take the first step. Even when they start, they become scared of growth, all because of conditioning, which keeps us in a comfort zone and limits growth. Yet God did not give us the spirit of fear, but He gave us the one of power, love, and a sound mind, which is the correct mindset. Life has principles. Often what you fear the most will come to you or affect you. This is the principles of life, laws of attraction as well. What you think, you call into existence towards yourself. You know, fear makes a lot of people believe that they are not enough. If you get to work on your mindset, you begin to be enlightened and the truth comes to light. You begin to recondition your thoughts to the positive side. There are stages of life and the law of the universe. It all begins with awareness. You cannot choose your circumstances or the environment where you are born, but you can choose to change your thoughts. Positive thoughts, awareness, and acknowledgement can shape our lives and businesses for the better. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your decisions and the choices that you make. Your decisions and your choices determines the actions that you take. The first discipline of all is the discipline of clear thinking. It is very, very, very important. In closing, awareness and self-development are very crucial. They help us to identify the bad conditioning that we have had and the limitations that we have created for ourselves. Because the only person that stands between you and your success is only you. And most of the time, a lot of people are not aware of that. Hence the blame game, not taking responsibility, making excuses. All the bad beliefs, the bad habits, when we self-develop ourselves, when we are aware of these things, we are able to change our self-concept and our attitudes for the better. Self-awareness and personal development through reading and continuously learning, because nobody knows it all. Every day there is something to learn. It helps us to unlearn and reprogram our thoughts so that we can relearn new positive things that will help us to become better people that can create a better nation and even a better world for all of us. Thank you, Vincent.
Yes, I'm
I'm
unmuted.
unmuted and I'm still speechless. Like,
I know.
whoa, I have like goosebumps right now. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
Thandie, I just want to jump out and kiss you. Like,
Right.
you are fabulous. And this
She brings
is
young power
why
here.
I asked to be a trainer on our teams. I think, you offer so much value. I mean, everybody else here does. And Heather, thank you for, telling us your personal story. I mean, you go through so much, and being able to share that with us is amazing. And I don't even know what else to say. Like, I have so many notes.
Thandie, those are such great little wisdom nuggets that you gave, especially for young children. I'm going to call them young children, but those that are 18 years of age or older that actually have the ability to join Novatech. And a lot of young kids that age, they don't have any money. They might have a small part-time job. And so I've been encouraging my two that are in Novatech now that are over 18, that, partner up with their friends and have one account, right? And if they each put in $100, they're all excited. They're working together with their one account. And then when they double their funds, then the next person can get their own account, and they just work together. And I think especially in places like Africa, oh my goodness, you guys are just growing like crazy over there, and keeping your mindset, like you said, in a positive way. No matter what obstacles your environment may have, you can sustain and overcome those burdens. And so I thank you, sister, for blessing us with such great information. Thank you.
And not only that, Heather, when I look at the youngsters, what I did a few months ago, I took my kids to an entrepreneurship school. They are 18 and 15. So one of the things that I learned is that all these are limitations, also based on the conditioning as well. To say that money is a limitation, there are a lot of other things that you can do that don't even need money to start. You can always start somewhere, but your mind needs to be right. If your mind is in the right space, the sky is not even the limit. There is nothing that you cannot do. The possibilities are endless because your mind state is positive.
That's right. Amen.
You touched on something where you said, start where the help is needed most. And that's where you'll find the most work. And I've always said that we started our business, for example, and this seminar isn't specific to Novatech, but we just all happen to be part of that environment. But we started it for a need that needed to be filled. And as long as you can provide or fill a gap that needs to be filled, you will always have, whether it's income or fulfillment or whatever it is. But you have to start by where it's needed. And I say that all the time. I think the Western world is overrated, to be honest. Yes, there's opportunity here, but to me, I agree with you. The opportunity here, you know, maybe you'll find, you know, a stronger educational system or whatever, but I just think that if you start at home and help build what's there, or even go abroad or whatever, there's so much more that we can accomplish. And, you know, if we're 50,000 people deep, 100,000 people deep, or whatever, just within our own communities, can you imagine what we can build and start in other communities?
Absolutely, there is power in numbers. When you actually look at the scripture in Psalms 91, when it says, the Bible says 1 can chase 1,000 and 2 can chase 10,000. So imagine 100,000 of us. What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
I try to get that across to people all the time. What we can do combined, guys, is just mind-blowing when you think about it. You know, it's normal for an individual to think about, oh, well, what am I going to eat tomorrow? How am I going to make money tomorrow? But guys, once you know how to make money, you always know how to make money. It's like swimming or riding a bike.
Absolutely. That's what I say. Once you learn how to make money, you can never be broke again.
Absolutely. And now if you can combine this chain with all these links interlocking, forget about it. We can change the entire world. And people, it's a mindset, like you said, it's just beautiful.
Yes. And we can start with the youth, because as people know, myself, when I walk into the grocery store, that's the first thing, or the Home Depot, that's my favorite spot. If I see the youth there, first question I'm asking them is, what are you doing to further yourself besides Home Depot? Don't let this be your last stop. There's a bright world out there for you right now. And then I lead off with, are you investing? Because they're not happy with their money. Well, try to make your money work for you now, instead of you working for it. Learn. And sometimes I don't even mention Novatech. I just said, learn how to make your money work for you. Google it, and you'll find it. And so, like they say, like Thandie, you say, if you think it, it is. If you think it's not, it is. You know, the grass is not always greener on the other side. If you take the time to water your grass, it'll be just as great as the other side. All right. So with that being said, we have the next panelist up, and her name goes by Corrie J. Sampson. She's a mother, grandmother, lover of Christ. Got me sold on that one. Crypto enthusiast, award-winning educator and mentor, lady boss. Yes, she is co-founder of Team Diamond. What a great team that is too. So I have some questions for you, Corrie. So how do you encourage and uplift multiple personalities types while keeping yourself keeled with what motivates you as a lady boss to keep going?
Oh, praise the Lord. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, first and foremost, I'm happy to answer your question, and I pray to God that I can answer it within the time allotted. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna sure work on that. But let me share this.
We're doing good.
Okay, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and taking a little time to hang out with us on today. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And we pray to God that what we share here is going to bless you and to bless your lives, not just for you, but for many generations to come. And, you know, we are a group of people that really believe, truly believe in helping the community. It's important. It's very, very important, family. And so when it comes down time to speaking of, building a team, working throughout various characteristics, when you're passionate about what you do, when you love what you do, it almost becomes second nature to you. You know, it's kind of like raising a family, if you will, with your children, right? For me, what I have found is that, you know, the love and the energy and the effort that I put into my children, that is what I receive back. And the same holds true for team building. Right? God has been so amazing to us, to each and every one of us. And we must always be grateful for that. Always. Never take it for granted. because let me share this with you. It does not have to be this way. It can be very different. And I tell you what, Thandie, you just very much like, what Reverend Cynthia said with regards to the mindset, the information that you just shared can change someone's life wherever they go. So God bless you for that, baby. Thank you so much for sharing that information. It was tremendous. I have a page of notes. I'm trying to look at the screen, but you kept dropping so many nuggets, that that I had to continue to take notes. But I tell you what, it's what we do here, right? It's what we do. So when it comes down time to reaching out to others, when it comes down time to supporting a team, to growing a team, to building a team, I have to meet people where they are, right? From there, I can help them to get where they want to go, right? And so in doing so, I have to be considerate of what it is that they want. That's first and foremost, because God is already blessing me, and He is going to continue blessing me to get what I want, right? And so as I build the team, there's so many other people on our team that are tremendous leaders, and we must leverage their strength. We must leverage where they are and what it is they have to offer, because none of us is the total package. And
That's so true.
Once we understand that our strength really comes in the numbers, it does. And in order for those numbers to grow, you have to be able to help people to grow. And sometimes it's simply through encouragement, right? Sincere encouragement. And sometimes that encouragement isn't always sweet, right? But if you really care about people, if you really love people, they will trust you, and they will trust what you're saying to them is for their own good. When you can help a man to grow, help a woman to grow, help a child to grow, they will never, ever forget that.
Mhm.
And they will teach that themselves. And that's what it's all about, right? It's all about all of us helping each other. And we do that in various ways. The thing that is most important, though, is that we be sincere and honest with one another. We must behave with integrity. On the team all the time, mind your business.
I used to say that all the time too, but not the
Did
way
you
most
really?
people would think. Yeah, I used to say that, mind your business. But when I say it, I mean your business.
Your business.
Mind
Exactly.
your business.
Exactly. Pay attention to your business. Typically, if you do that, you don't have time for the foolishness, right?
Amen.
Thandie talked about mindset, talked about negativity, right? That negativity will steal everything from you. Forget about your dreams, your mere existence. So when that comes into play, when you start hearing that somebody calls you on the phone with what I call foolishness, let them know, listen, what else can we talk about today? Because that conversation, I'm not up for. Now, what can I do to help get better? What can I do to help the situation? Sometimes when people call and they have that heavy on their spirit, I'll just break out in prayer. I don't even ask them what's wrong. You can feel it. And I'll just break out in prayer. Because once again, we all need each other, and we have to recognize who we are and where we are. And as you begin to do that, people will really begin to draw toward you. So you got to be careful about what you say and what you do, because people are watching. Folk are watching what you do. And the way you do some things is the way you do everything. Most importantly, God is watching us. God is watching us. This is a dry run right here, right? This is practice, right? For our eternal life. So the way that we live today and the way that we treat people is going to be tantamount to our eternal life. And so when we're in business and things look good and it looks like I should do this because, you know, I needed to balance out that leg. You know what I mean? Don't do it. If it's not right, don't do it. It's not for you. Okay. We must be careful about everything that we do. Think about it. And if it feels a little, I'm not sure, don't do it. Don't do it. It's your gut telling you this is not what's happening. So none of us are more important than all of us. That's real, right? So people will talk about, you know, who I am, what I've done, all that kind of stuff. I heard a young king tell me the other day, you know, Miss Corrie, he calls me Queen Corrie. He said, I didn't know this had happened. And I said, well, you know, that's not even important, baby. What's important is that y'all are doing your thing and y'all are succeeding out here. That's what's important, not what I'm doing. So we have to really understand that, right? That it's not all about us. It's not about the individual. It's about the group. It's about the community, because what we're doing right here is so much bigger than the now. So when, you know, and I have this conversation with my team all the time. You know, I'm 62 years old. I just turned 62 in October. I've got 4 daughters and 2 granddaughters. What I'm doing is for their future and for the future of the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of all of our community, because that's where our strength is going to lie. That is where our success is going to happen. It's not going to be just here. If y'all are in the United States, we got a hell of a deficit to pay back. Somebody has got to pay, right? Do we want to leave that on our children's shoulder with simply an education and a job? No, we don't want to do that, family. And we have an onus to create a legacy for generational wealth for our future. And we can all do that together. We just have to treat each other right, treat each other with respect, and all that God has in store for you will come to you. God bless y'all. I'm so excited to be here, y'all. I don't know what to do.
Me too.
That was really awesome, Corrie.
Okay.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Thandie.
Yeah, I was saying you look so beautiful, Corrie, for your age. That's
Aw,
awesome. You can
thank you.
actually tell that
Any
you
age.
take, yeah, no, she's amazing. Talking about sincerity, I think this is one of the mistakes that a lot of people do, especially in the business of network marketing. When they go out there and approach people, talking about being genuine, going out there to help people. When you're helping people, it's not about you.
That's
A lot
right.
of people make it about themselves. They talk about themselves.
Right,
Find out
right.
what people want and help them get it.
That's
If it
right.
is about you, how are you going to know what they need? How are you going to know how to help them?
Right.
That's right.
That's right. It's actually really just simple principles, like, just love on people, be patient and kind, love is patient and kind, and just love on people and listen to where they're at, like Corrie said, because you might not know what hat they're wearing and what they're going through in their life. And they just
Right.
need a chance, and they need someone to believe in them and someone to trust them. And that's what I do with everybody on my team. That's I'll help everybody and anybody, sideline, upline, downline, whatever line. I'm there, and they know they can call me, and Heather's going to help them. And that's what we need to do, is just have empathy and be kind and love on people.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, it's we touch on this sometimes during trainings as well and stuff like that. And people ask about the best way to build teams, which is what Corrie was just talking about. And I always say, I do it organically. I know there's funnels out there and ads and everything else, and I just don't believe in building businesses that way, because building businesses, and especially what we do, is about building relationships, right? We're trying to build structures and futures and sustainability and profitability and all that kind of stuff. And I don't see how I can do that if I can't reach out and touch people. Because if I can't speak to you and find out what your needs are, then how do I know where I fit in?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
being able to do that, you can build teams that you can take anywhere with you. You can have new businesses, you can have backyard barbecues or whatever.
Right.
Honestly, it becomes we're a community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very big on doing that. I remember, if I could just share a quick story with you guys, several years back. And, my businesses, when I started growing them, I did it internationally. I would say, if you don't, go global, then you're never going to build your business past your front yard. So even now, I don't get much sleep. I sleep all kind of erratic hours. Don't do that. But because the business is international, I got people in different time zones. And I got a message from somebody at like 3 a.m. with a Kenyan, I think it was, phone number at the time. And, thinking it had to do with business, of course, I jumped up and I checked the message. But it was a young lady who texted me by accident. She was trying to text a friend of hers who had a very similar phone number and ended up reaching me instead. And the message was her very just distraught because her husband had just walked out on her, left her with 3 children, and had been cheating on her and being abusive to her. And I initially just responded saying, I don't believe you were trying to reach me, but I don't think it's an accident that you reached me.
Right.
And I never spoke to her about business or anything. I literally communicated with this person that I've never met, never known for 2 years. And, just tried to be words of encouragement for her or whatever, whenever she needed it. And months later or a year later, she met somebody else, got remarried. And, over the years, I've kind of lost track of her. But it was just kind of, eerie and a blessing at the same time to be able to make those types of communications. And that's one of the reasons why I love what we do, whether it was a wrong number or not, but being able to have that connection with people is the reason why, we do what we do. And being women, especially, people look for that extra sensitivity that goes along with life.
Yeah, it's true. It's just being organic, like you said, Cynthia. Just another little short story. I told this to my team, one of my Zooms a couple of weeks ago, that there was this girl on Facebook who was just in like our regular town hall meeting room. And she was asking for any real estate agents to help her try to help find another house to live, that she was being evicted. So somebody had posted, how much, can you afford, type of thing. And she literally just broke down and said, my husband was killed in a car accident last Christmas, and we have nothing. We didn't have any insurance. And she was so broken. And I just felt the Lord saying, you know what? She needs Novatech. And not am I going to ask her to join Novatech and talk to her about Novatech. I'm going to bless her and give her $1,000 and tell her that she has hope and a future. And she couldn't believe that a stranger would reach out to her and help her in such a way. And I said, honey, it's going to be okay. And I found out that she actually has a faith in God and she's trusting in him, but she is so broken and so fragile right now. And she's got 4 little kids. And I thought, my gosh, I nearly lost my own husband this last November. And I'm thinking how I would feel in her shoes and having to move now on her own. And I was just like, you know what, God, thank you for this blessing. I'm going to bless her. And I put $1,000 in and got her started. This is her second week. And I know she's so grateful. So it's really great that we have these
awesome.
abilities to bless others.
God bless you, Heather.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you,
God is
ladies.
good.
Thank you.
All the
Amen.
time. All the
All
time.
the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, folks, you heard from Heather, you heard from Corrie, you heard from Thandie. But before we hear from this next person, panelist, I just want to let you know what these three, or all of them, have in common is the love of the Lord. If anything, you heard anything else, you heard that the love of the Lord. So it's going to bring me great honor to introduce this next powerhouse young lady. My wife said, we need more paper, honey, because we're running out of paper with all the stuff that I had written down for her, but we got to break it down and give out the best. All right. So without further ado, we have Madam Cynthia Pettyon,
Yes.
a wife, a mother, a daughter, a leader, a coach, a mentor, business developer, investor, and most of all, a philanthropist.
Mama.
So now my question, because before we get to the question, I want to kind of lead up to something there. I was just out on a cruise and I was boasting myself like I'm the man. And the lady said, you may be the man, but she's the manager. And I said, wow.
The wife.
Yes, my wife. I said, wow. So, Madam CEO, what tips can you offer women who inspire to be leaders in what we know to still be a man's world?
Wow.
Thank you, Vincent. First of all, thank you, ladies. I mean, when we decided to put this together, I had, we didn't really say, okay, we're going to say this and we're going to say that. We kind of just kind of left it free flowing, ad hoc, and everybody just kind of, added to it, whatever thoughts and feelings they had about what they thought were important. And I've got goosebumps sitting here listening to you ladies talk. And it is an amazing honor and blessing to be in your presence and to have you as part of our team. I know some people are dropping questions about the business in particular, but this event is mostly about how to be a boss lady, or how to be a leader, a coach, a mentor. There's a saying that I've always loved that says, the hand that rocks a cradle is the hand that rules the world. And that's a testament to mothers and women, right? Because we're raising the next generation of leaders. So, being a woman in a man's world, wow, that's a bit of a tough one. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because I think one of the things people may see as perception is, you have to think like a man or act like a man in order to be able to be a leader or successful as a man does. But women and men play very different roles in life and on this planet. And if we were intended to be the same, we'd probably just have one sex, would be asexual, and we wouldn't need each other. But as women leaders in particular, I think we feel a gap or a need in order to be able to have, harmony. Are we where we should be as far as equality is concerned? Of course not. Men enter the women's marketplace, for example, all the time. You have men that are nurses or, secretaries or caretakers or whatever, and everybody seems to think that's okay. But you get a woman now coming into what people feel are men type of positions, and then all of a sudden it becomes a battle, or trying to prove yourself, or earning that respect. And it's not always easy. But what I want women to know also is that it's not our job to be like men. It's our job to fill an emptiness or a niche that needs to be filled. I remember when I first started mentoring and coaching, I have all types of names. I have there's Madam CEO, there's Rev, there's Sin, but mostly it's ma, mama,
Right.
auntie. And
Right.
coming in and wanting to, it kind of baffled me, especially in our industry. It was still primarily dominated by men. Most of the leaders that were coming on board were men. I also realized a lot of that is culturally, because in a lot of cultures and countries, men are still the ones who are earning the keep and bringing it into it, while the ladies sometimes tend to be the ones at home. But the wives were always playing in the background somewhere, even if they weren't visible to me. So it was a little odd, because here I am trying to assert my authority, and I got somebody calling me mom. And a couple of times I wanted to just be like, I'm not your mother. I'm here to run a business. But, I also had to eat a lot of humility, with that as well, because people at the end of the day rely on us. And whether they don't necessarily see it as an authoritative position or whatever, I don't think it's much different, as Corrie mentioned earlier, than being a parent or a mother. If you look at your teams and the people that you mentor and coach and advise, almost as your children, what do you do with your kids? You don't baby them, but you have to teach them to be responsible. You have to teach them to be accountable, and you have to give them the skills that they need to be able to continue without you, right? We can't take care of our kids forever. We have to give them the tools that they need.
That's right.
Along with the confidence that they need as well, which goes into the mindset that Thandie was also talking about, so that they can build themselves up to be individuals that can not only sustain themselves, but help sustain their community, and then be able to pass that information on to whoever they're coaching and mentoring,
Right.
so that they can continue to do the same. It's very simple when somebody contacts you to just do what they ask, because it's easier. I need my password changed. All right, let me just go in here and change it for you. You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as that. It would take me 30 seconds. I've had people tell me, you spend more time lecturing me than had you just fixed it.
Yeah.
And they're right.
It's true.
But
Yeah.
you're not going to come back and ask me to do it again. So in the long run, I've saved myself more time. I've taught you a skill that you need, and now you can teach others as well. So I'll rather spend 20 minutes backlashing in order to get something fixed than to just do it and you don't have ownership of it now. All right. So with that said, you kind of, give them a little pat on the behind while smiling and stroking the back at the same time, because at the end of the day, you are dealing with people, and people want to be recognized and they want to be acknowledged. Right. And you do it the same way you would do it for your own children and family. Your husband or your spouse comes home and he had a hard day at work, you want to be understanding, and that's going to happen whether you're having a bad day yourself. And things may not always come across correctly, and people may get offended, but if you do things, which all of you guys have mentioned today, with just caring and consideration for others, then it'll be fine. So being a woman in a man's world isn't trying to be a woman who's a man in this man's world. It's just being a woman in that world. That's right. And making sure that you can earn the respect of people because you care enough about them to respect them as well. I remember I had a leader one time in the Middle East. And all the meetings are always men. And they're always gathering and they're always eating and they'll always eat and talk before they even spend 2 minutes talking about business. And, I'm kind of like, I'm from New York. I'm like, let's get to the point, people. All right, you spending money or not? Because I got to go. I got the next person to go coach. Right. And at one point, he told me to shut up. Oh, while texting. I couldn't text fast enough. I put the phone down. You're talking about somebody who got a licking. But I was like, don't you ever speak to me that way again. And then if that wasn't enough, I got Eddie on the phone, my husband, to do the same. But I don't know that I would treat it the same way again. But you have to be able to maintain your decorum. As Corrie said so many times, and listen, guys, I still have so much to learn myself as a leader, a coach, a mentor. I just know that I care and I just want to get things done. You know, it's the same reason why I became ordained and became a reverend years ago. It's not because I wanted to open up churches all over the place and stuff like that, but I did want to preach the word. And I feel like God blessed us with an opportunity and a platform to be able to be heard. And no matter how that works out, this is what he tasked us to do. We're all here together for a reason. And any way we can help elevate people is how we are going to have to do it.
Yes.
Okay, because like I said, our chain is unbreakable. It doesn't matter, things like I said, don't always go your way. And that's just life.
That's right.
You know, just do things with integrity. You do it with integrity, you care about people, and it doesn't really matter what comes out of it after that. You know, so you know that's my you know my 2 cents about it. But you know, men in this in this realm and just need to know that we play an important role, and we're not going to back down from it.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that's kind of funny that I always remember when it comes to women and men, the things that women have to deal with in their lives personally, physically, that maybe in a negative way have the word men in it. Menstruation, menopause, mental health, right? Right. So you have to turn that into something positive with the word men, like mentor. We want to be mentors and boss ladies, right? We're not going to let these other words that have negative connotations in it, because as boss ladies, we have a separate personality and a separate character to disseminate on all people compared to men. And look how many CEOs are in the world these days running great big huge corporations like Cynthia, right? I mean, Cynthia, God bless you. We're what a great day this is. I'm just so excited.
Yes.
No, this has been totally awesome. I like, you know, the connection that, you know, we share with people. And sometimes you just gotta, you know, one thing I've learned also, and, you know, I encourage people to do as well as coach, mentor, and everything else, don't take anything personally. You know, even in our own business, I used to be a tyrant. I used to like, oh, you know, when you're doing this, you can't do that, and don't talk to this person, and I'm just like, what the heck am I doing? Like, you can't run your business and your life like a tyrant, whether you're a parent or a leader or a CEO or whatever. People just have to have the freedom to do and choose what they want to do. It's the reason why life is so great. You just have to plant that seed and not take it personally. Just if you're doing something to help somebody and they're not ready to be helped, or they want to take a different route, or they want to assert themselves, then let them do that. The best you can do is just offer your advice, offer, you know, your shoulder to lean on, or you want to contact me, just don't waste my time. Time is money. I heard one of you guys say that. I don't remember which one it was, but one of you ladies here said time is money.
Yep,
All right, but time is the one thing that I value more than anything in life is time, because it is, you can lose money, you'll make money again.
Right.
You can lose your home, you buy another one. You crash a car, you get another one. But time is the one thing, if I lose it, I can't gain it back.
No, you can't.
That's
And
right.
we do not have an infinite amount of time on this earth. We do after we leave. But while I'm here, I need to make the best of my time. And I don't, that's the only thing. If you can waste my time, I'm just like, I need to know how you're gonna pay this back to me, because you know, I start to put $1 on my time. You know, I'm like, it's $250 an hour. So you just wasted about 10 minutes of my life. What does that equate to? But value your time and value the time of others. I don't like wasting people's time. So sometimes if I sound like I'm being short, for example, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, what you're doing, $250 an hour is dirt cheap. That's a steal.
Oh, shoot, should I raise it?
Yeah.
I can show you the text that she texted me with that too.
Oh, is that right?
I'm not joking. I can show you the text.
Oh, I've charged Vincent. I think you sent me what, $125 one time?
Oh my God. And let me tell you something, gentlemen and ladies too, if you think, because a lot of people say, oh, you know a lot. I said, no, I don't know a lot. It's because I got the tongue lashing from the CEO that makes me go out and research now. Because I know if I pick up that phone to call her, I know she's going to give me a whole thing. And I could say, well, why didn't you just give me the answer? But she's going to give you. So if you pick up that phone to ask a question, be prepared to get a tongue lashing at the
Oh,
same
yeah,
time.
especially when you catch me in the middle of the night,
Uh-oh.
because I do check, because you never know, there could be an emergency. So when I get nonsense in the middle of the night, it's like, to me, I compare it to doing my kids' homework. It's a lot easier if they come to me and say, Mommy, how do I do this? And I just say, give me the paper, I'll do it for you. You've learned nothing.
Right. Right.
I can't do your homework for you.
Mhm.
I can just show you where to find the answer.
Goes back to that old parable. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man a fish, feed him for a lifetime. Mhm.
Absolutely. I use
Yeah.
that one all the time too. Girl, you've been in my book or something like that.
No, I hadn't.
I think it's just the nature of what we do. We hear a lot of these things in our line of business as far as mentoring people. And I tell people all the time, guys, you know, especially if you're going to be a boss lady or any leader or mentor, you have to be able to teach others what you know.
Right.
Otherwise, you will be a slave to nothing.
That's right. That is right.
My job is not done until you can do it without me.
Right.
And we have to remember that's at the end of the day, this is what being an entrepreneur or being a boss lady is about.
Mhm.
Is teaching people to do what you do. Look, Thandie, oh geez. All I had to do was watch her a couple of times. We had one or two little training meetings and I let her run. People wonder why, you know, I don't do the trainings myself. Well, I'm running the company. I need to be back here doing this. But I entrusted her to do that. And you guys, Corrie, Heather as well, you're doing your own, even Vincent here. But I could not find anybody who could explain what we do and the heart behind what we do, even in the vision behind what we do, as well as she could. And you
she's
displayed
amazing.
that beautifully today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes. Thandie, you are
Thank
amazing.
you.
I've been on your trainings and I tell you what, again, I have a notebook full of notes just listening to you. And
Thank you.
yeah, you're amazing. Thank you so much. You are definitely working in your gift.
Thank you.
Yes, you are.
I even
So Vincent, do we
contacted
have
her
any
myself.
questions you think we need to address that anybody have been dropping? I don't see too many going on here. But again, I don't want to talk about any business, you know, specific items. You know, we can always go through support or they can contact, you know, their upline support for stuff like that. But I think somebody may have had a question for Heather at some point. Heather, somebody was asking when you came on board.
A year and a half.
I mean, I don't even know how you manage this business based on your story earlier and everything that you do. Even a wedding planner, it's like, what?
Yeah.
I can't even get my sermons together to finish my podcast. I don't know how you do it.
Well, just like you said to me the other day, Cynthia, we were talking on WhatsApp and it was late. And I said, you know, it's time to go to bed. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were discussing something and she says, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I laughed my head off at that. I was like, yeah, you know what? That's
Not
so
the best advice to give. But
I know it was a joke, but it was just
I don't
cute,
like
you know?
missing a minute.
That's
I
right.
love what I do so much, and it's the connection we have with people specifically. And you know, Eddie all the time, he's like, I don't know how you do it, son. You're like talking to this person, I have 50 conversations going on at the same time. But I feel like when I'm sleeping, I'm missing out on something. You know, I trust the traders to do what they do. I trust, you know, my staff to do what they do or whatever. But sometimes, you know, I love the interaction. That doesn't mean send me your support tickets, people. I don't want your support
Right.
tickets. All right. Well, we're wrapping up kind of early today, but you know, I do want to thank everybody for being here. Vincent, Mr. Co-host. Again, if you think there's anything else we need to talk about or address, but I mean, I think today was a slam dunk, and I appreciate everybody's time.
Well, there is one question if you want to. It has nothing to do with the board. It's just about the company, Novatech, and they just want to know your thoughts on the future of Novatech, inside of Novatech.
I mean, yeah, that's a generic question. I guess, you know, we can touch on something like that. But, you know, most of you guys who are here know that, you know, we built this company out of a need for something better. And I don't think I would be doing myself, our members, our future members, any justice by possibly shutting things down or doing something else or whatever. I think we've got a great thing going. We're continuing to look for ways to continue to expand it and build on it. You know, and one of the things, guys, I always say, you know, whatever new level, there's a new devil. There's always going to be some challenge to meet, some nonsense we have to get through, and we've done a pretty A-okay job of it for the past 3 years. After June, we're going to be going into our 4th year, guys, and I couldn't be more excited about what we've done. And when I see leaders like yourselves and the caring voice of, you know, members and their appreciation, it just drives us to keep doing more. And things don't, like I said, always go right. You know, the system glitches, something goes down, blah, blah, blah. I used to freak out over it myself. I'm like, oh my God, the site is down for 30 seconds. Get my developers, my IT team. And I'm like, what am I panicking over? The money's not even in the back office. It's on the trading platform, which never crashes, you know. So it's just a matter of being level-headed, not freaking out, having confidence in what we do, and the ability to continue doing it and do more. You know, there's so many things I want to be able to integrate into what we do, but I like to introduce things as they're more sure and more solid. I don't want to just throw haywire things out there that don't work out, because to me, it's not a sign that we're thinking things through. So we take a lot of time just to think things out. You know, something like this, for example, I mean, this isn't part of your normal MLM crypto platform trading conversations.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know too many other companies that would take the time to do something like this.
that's true.
Right.
But I consider us different, and I've always considered us different.
Yes,
So
we are.
we don't follow the norm, because I'm not trying to lead a flock of sheep off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? We are lions, and we are just meant to rule. You know what I'm saying? So I just love that about us. And you know, feedback, suggestions, even your complaints, whatever, throw it at us. You know, it just helps us to build a better, I don't even want to call it a business, just a better community.
We have one for Thandie, which brings me to saying I'll be your manager. When is the book coming out?
I just saw that very soon.
Word, girl, you got to do it.
And if you're looking for a manager, I'm here.
Get that.
There we go. Well,
Thank
guys,
you.
I have my family sitting over here staring at me like, are you almost done, so they can eat lunch. I want to, again, thank you everybody for joining us today, being here with you guys. I love you tremendously. I love everything that we do. So it's my birthday week, guys. Be nice to me.
Ooh, all
Yeah,
right.
I've already started turning up. You see, I got my roots done and everything else. This is your CEO's birthday week. So
Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday.
Happy
In advance.
And, you know, I thank God for every single year, day, whatever. So let's just keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. All right. Love y'all. God bless y'all.
Love you all, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.